Hi everyone, it's Wendy. I've just been making some pockets to sew in with the signatures in my next few journals, and they're made from large book pages, the shiny book pages, so this is a good way of using them up. And they've got two pockets on. I've made a few different designs, and this has got a pocket on the back of each, front and back. So in effect you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pockets on that one, and that can just be stitched in with your signature. So that's one. These are papers from a kit. I think it's Tattered Teal by Lavender Blue Designs. This one I've kept as the book page. Can you see it's quite shiny? And this is a piece of a snippet roll, but I've made it into a pocket and just one pocket there. These are tags from Tracy Fox, same on this side, and I've just left the book page as it is on the front and back. Then I've done a slightly smaller one, again with two pockets there and there. Nothing on the front and back, just a few labels. These are from Pink Monarch prints. Then I did, using an offcut of the paper, I just glued on a front, put little divots on to make a pocket there and there, and then I used a bit more of the snippet roll to make another pocket on the front, on the inside rather, and just a little corner. This was the very end of the snippet, and I've just put writing, some paper from a writing pad to use as journaling space, so that could still be stitched in with your signature. And then the last one, this was my prototype, made from normal book pages with two pockets, like so, and I was just using bits from my stash, really just offcuts. And these are the clusters that I made from fussy cutting bits. I'll link the video below for that. And this has just got two tiny envelopes that I had in my stash, and I just made them in little concertina books for extra journaling space inside. In fact, I've lost the book out of this one, but I will find it somewhere. So that slots in there. So let's get on with making these. Now mine's a gardening book, and it measures 10 inches by 10 inches, and I've managed to split the stitching so I could take the pages out as double pages, or most of them. So I'm going to use these. It's a good way of using the shiny papers. It's a lovely book, but a lot of people don't like the shiny papers. So the first one I made, just put those on the floor, I cut the page down to just under 8 inches, because that's about the general height of a normal journal page. Yeah, just over 7 3/4 inches. And then just one way, easy way of doing one pocket is just fold it to the center, both edges, not right to the center. You want to leave enough space for it to be able to fold, and then just fold down the corners to make a single pocket, like so. Then you just glue those down either on the outside, or you can tuck them inside. I'm sure you've all made pockets like this before. We all have. And then just glue down two sides there, and you've got a little pocket. And you could always glue another pocket on the outside, front and back. That's one way. Another way is, I did have a piece ready to go. I cut this page down to 8 inches, or just under 8. Yeah, it's 1/8 of an inch under by 5.5. So that's the general sort of size of a journal page. Then I don't need that piece. I took another page of the paper, just slightly less, I think that's about 7.5 inches, and then fold it in half and fold one piece down near enough to the edge there, and then the second piece you can either fold it that way or that way, so you've got 2 pockets, and then that will be glued on to your page like so. And I like to just ink the edges before I stick anything down. You'll have to excuse the dog, he's having a mad moment. I'm going to fold mine inwards. Then I've got this bit of a picture of plant pots, so I'm just going to quickly ink these edges. Rico, what are you doing? Oi? Right, I'm going to use my 3-in-1. I'm just going to glue these flaps down. If I can get my glue to run. There we go. So glue that one down. And glue this one down to form the pockets. They're about 1.5 centimetres apart, like so, there. And then I'm going to put glue on 2 sides to glue it into the page, like so, as near to the edge as you can. And let that set. And we're going to glue this down on those 2 sides as well. And I do have a video on making the snippet rolls as well. Let me just share with you what I've been making here. Well, they're not exactly rolls, they're more just lengths of... Again, this is Shiny Bookpages. In fact, this is a freebie magazine that comes to the shops here. And I've just folded it and glued normal book pages on reading book and just literally stuck on any bits and bobs that I had. Little buttons, little labels, bits of lace, bits of material, ribbon. I do like to put a little ribbon on the edge with a little dangle on some of them. So that's... Try to do them in different colourways, then I've always got them on hand when I need the right colour. Now we need to do a pocket for this side. So again, I'm just using one of the pages. Let me just, yeah, it's the right. Just need to cut a little bit off the height, about 1/2 inch, and then fold down nearly to the edge again here, and then this one fold down. What I'm doing is just keeping that parallel to that edge, then you know that it'll match up with your pocket there. And again, you need to decide whether you're going to glue that on the outside or on the inside. And I think I'll keep mine on the inside. Let's see about that one. Now I'm going to keep them both as is like that. So I'll just get my glue again. Ooh, sticking to the top. You could just keep going adding pockets with these. It's a great way of using up your bits of book pages, and then go to town. You can collage on, use little toppers, lace. So that now wants gluing. We'll do this one first, like so, and then these two. as well. This is the sort of thing I can do watching TV. In fact, I've done that. I need to put glue down this side as well, and I didn't do it on the other one either. I need to put it down 3 sides, don't I, to make a pocket. It's a bit daft. And I've done it on this one as well, didn't put glue down the very edge. What on earth was I thinking? Right, put the glue on that because it's deciding to erupt out of the bottle. So that is the pockets ready. So we've got one there, one there, one there, and one there. Now I'm going to get a cluster. In fact, I'm going to put a piece of lace down this one first. And I've got this lovely lace here. Let's find the end of it. In fact, I've got some bits of cotton here. They need to go in my little snippet making box. I do like to put bits of cotton on, make it look a bit rough and ready. There's lots of bits there. It's from the snippets I was making this morning, tying all the ends off when I'd been on the sewing machine with it. Right, let's find the end of this lace if I can. Where is it? That's the only trouble with keeping it rough instead of having it wound round something. It's got to be here somewhere. There we are. So I'm just going to glue a piece on the front pocket, not the back one. And it's very light lace, so it doesn't make too much bulk in the journal. Just going to hang the scallops just over the edge a little bit. Get a pair of scissors and chop that. Needs a bit more glue under there. I think it needs a bit more glue all the way up. And chop that like so. Bit more under there, and then the same on this one. Put my glue down. A piece of cotton, we don't need that. And like so. Chop the edges. Keep that lace out, and I'll wind it round something to keep it straight. So that is the 2 pockets ready there. Okay, I'm not going to edge that one. Now on the front here I'm going to put a piece of snippet. I'm trying to see if there's like purple flowers there. So I'm trying to find something that's a bit purple. I have got some others made here. In fact, this is quite a nice one, to be honest, because I've got a little envelope on this one. Now if I can fit that in, I might need to cut it off there to fit the pocket in, which is what I'm going to do. Then it'll be bigger. This would be big enough then for like a corner. Those scissors aren't much good. So that piece is big enough like for a little corner pocket. So I'll keep that one, and I'm going to make it wide enough just to fit over this pocket. Not right to the edge where the fold is, just a little bit in from it. So it can either go on that one or that one. Either or. I'm going to cut another piece as well. So I'm just going to glue 3 sides. And so that is 1 pocket 2 pocket, 3 pockets there, and you've got your little envelope there. Okay, I know that says upside down, but it doesn't really matter. Then we can cut another piece for the other side. Again, it's a bit awkward because of these buttons, but if I cut it there, let's just, yeah, I'm going to cut it there, again leaving enough to use as a corner pocket, and then just to this side of this button. That's the beauty of having these in different colours, then they're ready when you need them in the colour that you might be using. I try to do them in like reds, pinks, purples, greens, yellows. So again, which way up should we have it? I think because the envelope's there and there might be a bit more bulk in that, I'll put this pocket that way up with the buttons so they won't be hitting the envelope. And glue it again on 3 sides. Like I've said, there's many variations of this, different pockets, but I just wanted to do something that could be sewn in with my signature, like so. So we've got 2 pockets added on there. Glue stick in, put my lid on my ink and put the lid on my glue. Okay, so that closes up like so. And then again, if I wanted to, I could either put journaling space on there, or put another pocket in, or even put a side pocket in that way. The same on that side. I'm going to leave it as is at the moment, but again, you've got a pocket there, and one there, and one there. So 6 altogether, and that could be just stitched in with your signature, and it adds a little bit of bulk to your journal, but I'm happy with that. There's a bit of glue seepage there, but that's fine. You could put more stickers on and toppers, decorate it up to your heart's content. But it's nice to have some of these in your stash ready for use. And I will link the video below when I made snippets like this, just throwing everything at it really, just getting it all stuck down, then take it to the sewing machine and make it look prettier, putting the either zigzag or fancy stitching on, if your machine will allow that sort of thing. They look fine without it, but I think just adding a bit of stitching just sets them off. So thank you for joining me today. I would love you to tap the subscribe button, and don't forget there's plenty of journals for sale in my Ko-fi shop at bargain prices, and they do include postage as well. It all just goes to add a few euros for the charities that I support here in Spain. So I'll see you next time. Bye.